Knights at the Round Table, a round table discussion on speculative fiction books and film. Hi everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Season 5 of Knights at the Round Table. Today we are discussing the 1991 film Hook, and I'm sitting at the table with Eric and with Lindsay, and I'd like to start with general impressions of the film. Lindsay, you get to go first.
Alright, well, I hadn't seen this movie in probably 18 to 20 years.
I can't believe it's that old.
Yeah.
27.
And the first time I saw it, I actually didn't like it at all.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure why. Maybe because I didn't like the idea of Peter growing up. Not sure. But I didn't like it. So I went in a little bit nervous about it. Not really remembering everything. And I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. And I teared up a couple times for some reason. Yeah. So that happened. And also every time Rufio spoke, all I could think was Zuko! Because he is the Fire Nation Prince from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah. So there's a lot of Zuko! No! Yeah. Couldn't help it.
Eric?
I hadn't seen it for about 10 years. I remembered it being a fun, light, easy to watch movie that annoyed me with a few storylines. I watched it last night and I think I was in tears like 8 times. Stu, the minute you have kids, everything makes you cry. He's being mean to them. She wants her mommy. I lost it when he found his happy thought. I was like, nope, I can't do this. Thankfully, Jen cries more than I do, so I didn't feel too bad. But oh man, it was emotionally draining.
I watched this when I was a kid, teenager. I think it was on TV. I watched it. I really liked it then. Watching it last night, it hasn't lost any of its charm for me. There are a couple of things that did make me go, what? But for the most part, it's still really lovely. I love how uncynical this movie is. And I don't think... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Literally zero cynicism.
Bathes in its, like, happiness.
Yeah. It is essentially a bright, beautiful set piece. It's very theatrical. And I still love it. It's still really good. And I also teared up a couple of times. Okay, fine. I did. So, what were the highlights for you?
John Williams.
Oh, the
John
score?
Williams'
The
score?
score, like, the entire movie could have no words and just the score. Although I read trivia about it and it made me so sad.
What?
John Williams and a lyricist had written 10 songs for this to be a full-blown musical.
Oh.
But they decided to go in a different direction. And the songs and music are locked in Disney's vault and haven't been heard since
really?
1990 when they cancelled it. I want that musical. It's already finished!
I mean, it's pretty much already a musical, the way everything's set up and the way
Yes.
people move, and yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Lindsay, major highlights?
One major highlight for me, one of the Lost Boys, Don't Ask, is James Matteo, who I met in Normandy, France. He's part of the Band of Brothers cast. So I know him. So knowing him and then seeing him that young was just like, that's so cool!
Half the movie, my wife was like, "Who is that kid in the suit? Who is that?" And she was like, "It's the guy from Band of Brothers."
Yeah.
Do you know how he got his name?
Don't ask?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
He didn't have a name in the script or anything, and he kept asking Spielberg, "What is my name?" And finally, he went, "Don't ask," and walked off. The kid's like, "Okay."
That's awesome.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
This film is showing its age a bit, though. I remember I started it up as sitting in the rocking chair watching it, and then the TriStar logo came up. I'm like, oh my god, how old is this?
Okay.
And then the Pan Am plane, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is ancient.
I
Fun
watched
fact.
it on VHS last night, okay?
Oh my. Pan Am went out of business a week before this movie was released.
Oh, wow.
But it was the perfect airline. Pan Am.
Yes.
The voice of the captain is Hook.
Oh, Dustin Hoffman?
Yes.
Oh my god, was Dustin Hoffman not perfect for that role?
He was.
He was amazing as Hook. I really
It was offered
enjoyed
to
it.
David Bowie, eh?
Was it?
Yeah. And David Bowie said, no, not my thing.
Well, I'm glad because Dustin Hoffman was
Dustin,
fantastic.
yeah, I can't imagine anyone else in that role now.
Also, Gwyneth Paltrow was young Wendy.
I know,
Wasn't that
right?
adorable?
I was like, wait.
And Glenn Close as the pirate.
Oh yeah, so discovered this morning, I didn't know until Eric told me, that the pirate who gets put in the boo box right at the beginning of the Neverland stuff, Glenn Close.
The makeup in this movie is amazing. Judi Dench was like 60 when this movie came out. And she looks older than she does now.
You mean Maggie Smith?
Maggie Smith. I'm sorry. Wrong fantastic actress. British. Wrong dame.
Wrong dame.
But yeah, she was... pictures of her, she looked older than she does now.
Yeah.
And that was all makeup.
Yeah. And oh god, Maggie Smith is spectacular as
Naturally.
Grandma
Could she
Wendy.
be anything
Could she
else?
be anything else? Yeah. The minute her reveal, hello, boy, and I'm just like, oh my god!
Yep.
And even for the age and budget and everything, like the green screen is pretty good. All the stuff with Tinkerbell, like I was like, this is holding up.
Yeah, it's not
oddly
bad.
enough.
There was only
it's-
one part that I was like, ooh, that is awkward green screen. The last shot when they're panning out and the whole family's at the window.
Oh, and Toodles is
it
like...
goes,
Yeah.
it like jerks, and I'm like, ah!
But like all of the Tinkerbell stuff, I was like, this is pretty good.
Special effects wise. Story wise?
Oh, that harkens back though to the original book and everything.
Oh, really? Was that in the
Tink
original book?
was in love with Peter.
Okay, so that's not just something they added for this movie.
No, she was.
okay. I see, because I haven't read the original.
Nor have I.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yet
there's tons of stuff in this one that harken back to
Yeah.
Peter and Wendy, the book, which was great. Like Peter forgetting, that was like a core piece of the book as a whole. Was Peter forgets everything so easily. Like he's flying with Peter, Wendy, and Michael to Neverland, and he's like, "So I might forget you. So just like let me know who you are as we're flying." And like he literally forgets them in the space of time when they're flying to Neverland. Like his memory's awful. So the fact that he forgot everything once he decided to grow up makes complete sense based on his backstory of the original book.
Okay, yeah, no, the forgetting stuff made sense to me, but not having read the book, the Tink stuff didn't.
Yeah, no, that's why she, in the books and stuff, she hated Wendy so much.
Well, okay, then it's still really awkward.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the parts that made me most like, ugh, did they have to include this? Like, I know why they did, but okay, sure.
When she's kissing him, my wife's like, he's married!
That said, Julia Roberts did a wonderful performance as Tinkerbell.
Yes.
But
In front of the camera, yes. Behind the scenes, apparently they nicknamed her Tinker Hell.
Oh dear.
oh, really?
She broke up with her then fiance at the time and ran off in the middle of filming to Ireland.
Oh dear.
She refused to have anyone interact with her from the actual cast. Apparently she was horrible. Probably because she was going through a depression and being stuck alone in a green screen room didn't help. But still.
But, oh, well, that makes me sad. But you know what? Her on-screen performance
she was
great.
pretty good. Yeah.
I really liked her melodrama right at the beginning. Clap your hands.
Yes.
Louder, Peter!
That was a nice throwback to the book or stage play.
Stage play. Yeah.
Ooh. There's a bunch of Robin Williams quotes in there too. So when Shmi wakes up at the Pirates, he screams, "Good morning, Neverland!" in the exact same way
morning,
that
Neverland. I'm like, good morning, Vietnam.
And Toodles, is that his name?
Toodles
Says Carpe Diem as he leaves.
As he leaves, yeah.
I also like Robin Williams' poses. So he'll
foreshadowing.
randomly, even before he'd be like,
Yeah, the random foreshadowing.
and literal shadowing.
Yeah.
Because there's a few scenes of the shadow before he becomes Peter.
Yeah. It was good. There was some great writing in here. Like when Peter Banning, before he becomes Peter Pan's on the pirate ship, he's like, "Can someone give me a hand?" And then Hook goes, "I already did."
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh!" The whole pirate ship went, "Oh!"
There's a bunch of Hook lines and stuff that just were genius. I was like, what is this?
Apparently Hook became Dustin Hoffman's nickname after this.
I
People still refer to him as Hook.
Well, he was so brilliant in the role. The only thing of his that made me cringe was the pseudo-suicide scene.
Oh yeah.
There was that, and was it part of the same scene where he's like, I'm tired of this body that won't work, and I'm tired of the... I guess, yeah, it was right at the beginning. When he was off the ship, he starts listing everything he hates about himself.
Yeah.
I'm like...
Because that scene in particular was sort of played off as meant to be funny. Don't try and stop me, Smee. Don't
Stop
dare
me, Smee! Stop me!
Stop me!
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a nervous giggle because it was kind of funny, but having been in that situation, it was also really not really all that funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And the mermaid transition was weird, but that was...
Yeah, that was kind of random. It's like, okay. And then it was like, okay, they're putting him in a shell, they're taking off his tie, and all of a sudden the shell's like rising up the mountain. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
So they were traveling this whole time? It didn't look like it, because what? Yeah.
When that scene started, and I was like, ooh, sexy mermaids, go Robin Williams. And my wife's like, they're giving him air. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but... There were easier ways to give him air. Like taking him out of the water.
One of the first parts that made me tear up was the little boy examining Peter. And then after
there you are.
Oh, there you are, Peter. And I'm just like...
Yeah.
That's one of the things
sweet.
I really liked about Lost Boys was the representation and people in power that are being represented, which was really awesome. So like Dante Basco being Rufio, and then later
Who was the leader?
Replacement.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thud, the guy who got that. None of the Lost Boys at the last scene knew who Robin Williams was going to give the sword to. Nobody told them.
No.
Robin Williams and Spielberg were the only ones who knew, so that their reaction was completely react.
Because he took charge during the battles and stuff and was directing people.
But all their reactions are genuine. Yeah, I was expecting to cringe about fat jokes, but they weren't that bad.
No, they weren't. It wasn't really... Because what struck me about this was, if you found a fat person being capable funny, then that's on you.
Yeah, he was really
He was
capable.
capable. He was a fat
other than
kid,
maybe
but...
like the bench scene.
Oh yeah, at the dinner.
Yeah.
But other than that, there were no jokes about him being fat negatively. As well as him using it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fat jokes
to his
towards
advantage.
Robin Williams, who, holy shit, did you see him without a shirt? I was like,
yeah.
that's the best shape Robin Williams has ever been in!
Well, they patted him beforehand.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely, I was watching
There was definitely a punch.
Yeah, so they patted him, and then after
all the
shirtless
workout.
Scene, then
Neverland is a great... I want to go to
3
Neverland.
days!
I know, if I can look like that in 3 days, I'm there in a heartbeat.
Funny fact,
Second star
Robin
on the right,
Williams is hairier than a werewolf.
Yes.
They had to shave daily. His entire upper torso from
Amazing.
from knuckles to belly button for this role.
Yup.
Spielberg and Robin Williams became friends after this, which is an interesting fact. Spielberg rewatched this, or tried to rewatch this, after Robin Williams died, and said he couldn't get through it. He was crying too hard.
Yeah, no, well, I barely got through it because the minute I saw Robin Williams, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Such a loss.
The actor who played Shmi also played him in 2011 in Neverland.
Oh.
You're right.
Interesting.
Sorry, that just... You're right, he did. Speaking of Smee, Smee's plan to have the kids learn to love Captain Hook as a parental figure made me smile. It was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
But the introduction to that plan was even more brilliant. I've just had an apostrophe. I think you mean epiphany. There are so many brilliant lines in this. The writing is really wonderful.
Like Smee translating
Yes.
Hook's like Oxford English.
Yes, into pirate
Yeah.
speak.
I like that they kept that in good form.
Good
That's
form,
something
yes.
that he did in the book. A lot was talked about form and stuff, and because he was Oxford bred and whatnot, and so that was really cool. I was like, yes. And then Jack being like, not good form.
Bad form. form. Yeah.
He's stealing second. No!
Just okay, about that. Pirate dies. Nobody cares.
No.
Jack doesn't care. Just dead pirate at second base.
There was a lot of death in this.
Yeah, yes.
And a lot of talking about death.
And not grieving Rufio.
I know, that also struck me. Okay, when I was a kid watching this for the first time, I was in love with Rufio.
That's why I
wasn't?
hated that movie. Was mostly because Rufio
Because
died.
Rufio died.
I forgot that he had died. And when he died, I was like, they killed him?
Yeah. What? And then, yeah, literally 3 seconds later, they're dancing.
Yeah, well, they're...
Again,
They avenge him.
the memory thing.
Oh, maybe the memory
Yeah,
thing.
we'll say that's what it is.
Also, with that dancing, can I just say, to honor CinemaSins, Captain Hook went to the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things. Ding! Just stand up into the crocodile's mouth. Why not?
Yeah. Back to the mermaids. It hit me. Sorry. It really hit me.
Segue!
That 90s mermaids. It's really funny to see how they've transitioned. Like unicorns. If you see mermaids in a movie now, they're going to eat you. They're going to destroy you. If you see a unicorn in a movie now, most likely it's going to stab you.
There's a couple of things that were definitely very 90s.
Very 90s.
Like
yeah.
the skateboarding, I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing!
I was trying to figure
Right.
out, what would they change that to? Like wakeboarding?
It struck me as incredibly American. Like
Yes.
The Lost Boys, which is kind of ironic because the original story is incredibly British.
Yeah.
But you know, the skateboarding and the
But
basketball.
skateboarding was really popular.
And the punk
In Britain.
aesthetic.
And the punk
Yeah.
aesthetic, yeah. Although, I mean, didn't punk school come out of the UK?
Yes, it's already in the
Probably,
UK.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Clash and...
Yeah. So,
No? Okay.
Sure.
It was very big in the 90s in the UK with the Clash and other punk scenes.
Yeah, so a lot of it struck me as weirdly American, but it kind of makes sense if you view Neverland as sort of a manifestation of the imaginations of the people that inhabit it.
and Peter itself.
Peter, for the most part, grew up in America. Mm-hmm. So, that, I didn't mind it so much. Oh, that was my shoulder that just popped. Can I just say that little Maggie is the most adorable little girl ever?
That's the only movie she was in.
Really?
Yeah, I
Really?
looked on her IMDb and like
Because
there
there's a
wasn't
modern
anything
picture of her,
else.
but there's nothing else.
She's stunning.
Oh, I think there's Lost Boys and stuff reunion
There was.
at 25 years.
There was. I remember seeing the tweets on James Mattio's Twitter.
Ah, there we go.
And yeah, and he and Dante Basco, Rufio do a lot of film.
Voice work.
No. They do special fundraising film like viewings of this movie to
that makes
raise
sense,
money
yeah.
for charities and stuff, which is really cool. But
She
yeah.
did such a good job. And my favorite line is, "Daddy! Daddy!" when he comes out sword fighting and being all boss.
I love the face of the pirates when she's singing. They're all like,
Yeah,
It's very Disney Peter Pan when Wendy was singing. They're all like, I want my mommy.
the pirates were very childlike.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is very much like the Disney one. But it makes you wonder how much of an effect Neverland has on your brain. Because even when Peter went back, he was almost completely Peter, unless Mr. Banning. Granted, he's got a few centuries more of him, but...
Yeah, I just...
Like, he looked confused at the cell phone and stuff like that. God, that cell phone.
Oh, yes, very 90s.
Another 90s thing.
Oh, and the 90s were 80s and 90s were big on absentee parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially fathers. Oh, man.
Well, I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Pretty much anything with Robin Williams, okay? Or Dustin Hoffman.
Which actually made the whole clock smashing scene, it made me really sad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, poor little kid. He just wants to be loved.
And I was like, I really hope that isn't a watch from Wendy. That's all I was thinking. I'm like,
Yeah, that
I
never
hope
came
that's not an
back.
old watch. It's already a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
Shockingly. Like, I mean, I looked at the time and went, why is it 9:30?
I didn't notice it was that long
It's 2
at all
hours
while
and
watching it.
24 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, well, so...
But you don't notice until you notice the time.
Yeah. So the pacing of this film is really good. It keeps you engaged that entire length, which is more than can be said for some movies.
When this movie came out, critics were panning it, saying, horrible. Kids cannot handle a movie that's over an hour and a half. No children will ever be able to deal with that. And now I'm laughing.
No.
Is there a Pixar or a Disney movie that's under 2 hours that came out recently? Or any other animated movie?
Do the shorts count?
No. Although some of them are close to 2 hours.
Oh, about the whole Pirates versus Lost Boys thing. Part of the reason why this film struck a chord with me is how uncynically it handles that, because in any other situation, grown men fighting children is horrifying. It is absolutely the most evil thing I can possibly think of. And it doesn't even register in this film.
Well,
it's
even
just,
like Hook saying like, "Oh, I don't want to kill lost boys. I want to kill Peter Pan." Like the fact that he has in the past killed lost boys and it's said so offhand, like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Like
also like, I'm tired of killing Indians. Like,
I like how they handle the whole Indian thing by completely ignoring them. They're like, let's not go there.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, you're right. I like how the Lost Boys kicked their asses without, except for Peter, really killing anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, the fight choreography in this was pretty good. It was better than the fight choreography in X-Men, so I really enjoyed the sword fighting in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's very classic Rathbonian sword fighting, but that's fine. I mean, Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams aren't martial artists.
Or Dante Basco.
Yeah.
He held his own too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that he looked like he was better with a sword than Peter was, but the scene where he does the knife thing, where you're dead jelly man.
And with the coconut?
No, where he puts the blade right on.
Yeah.
That was filmed backwards because they were afraid of hurting Robin Williams, so they put it there. So he had to learn the choreo. Not Robin Williams, but Basco had to do it completely backwards, including mouthing the words.
Really?
And he did it in 2 takes.
Nice!
Jeez!
Yeah.
Louise!
Go Zuko.
Yeah, I rewatched it and I was like, I cannot tell.
Yeah. No. Wow, that was really well done.
So was there anything we didn't like about the movie? We seem to be
gushing. There's a really corny "Thank you for believing" as Peter Pan flies away. That "Thank you for believing." I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. We could have done without that.
I didn't like that. It almost made it seem like he was dreaming because he woke up at the foot of the statue, which I like the foot of the statue thing, but then he's like in his original clothes.
That was a very Spielberg-y thing to do.
I was like,
oh, he was dreaming. Nope, look, a fairy.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, I would have preferred him to be in his Peter Pan getup.
Yeah,
and then it would have been a little bit more shocking for like the mom to be like, oh my gosh.
I wonder how much time passed.
A night.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because when the mom's like, I still see them in their beds.
That's a direct quote
and I'm like,
from the book that the actual mother
I know,
says.
but it's a horrifying quote. It's like,
yeah.
And I still see them like, oh my god!
Parental tears!
Yeah.
The first thing that made me is when Tink steals Peter back to Never Never Land, and as she's flying, there are the 2 kisses on the bridge who start floating with that fairy dust. I'm like,
George
they have
Lucas
their
and Carrie
happy
Fisher.
Thoughts. Aww.
Seriously?
I didn't know it was them. Yeah.
Because Carrie Fisher did script doctoring on the script.
Oh,
she did the final cleanup of the script. So
maybe that's why it's so good.
Probably. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But George Lucas.
They weren't actually kissing.
Okay,
probably.
good.
They were really just
well, no, it was too far away to tell anything.
I thought they didn't like each other that much.
All 3 of Dustin Hoffman's kids are in this movie.
Yeah, I saw that. Some of them are playing. They were playing the game at the beginning, the baseball game.
One was in the baseball game. One was in the play, and one was one of the Wendy's. Like the youngest one, I think.
Cool.
And a young Angelina Jolie, age 16, went on set and told Dustin Hoffman she wanted to be an actress. He describes her as gangly with a mouthful of braces and looking really awkward. And he went home and told his wife she's going to have a hard time in this industry.
There are so many brilliant lines, brilliant scenes. I can't get over the writing, because often with these movies that are from the 80s and 90s, the writing is really subpar.
Really crap.
Really crappy writing, and there's only so much that brilliant actors can do with a terrible script. But actually, the script was really good.
And the actors were really good. The kids were amazing.
Yep.
And I mean, Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman.
Well, yeah, the whole, like, the first lesson where where Hook is teaching the kids that parents don't do these things because they love you, they do them because they want you to shut up. Yep. And Maggie being all like, no, Mummy loves us, Smee, flunk the maggot.
An elf! A little Hermione there.
Yeah. That whole scene, brilliant. Perfectly done.
It also did something that most 80s movies didn't do, and a lot of modern movies have trouble with. The fight scenes told a story. Just like a dance movie, the music, or the dance, and a singing movie, the singing, they have to move the plot forward. It's not just, let's pause for 30 minutes of fighting.
Yeah.
Sorry, Star Wars.
Ooh, shots fired.
Well, no, not really.
Superman, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of the new stuff.
Superman.
Shouldn't have said anything. Sorry. That's another episode.
That's another 5-hour rant by Eric.
Did anyone else find the imaginary dinner distressing?
Distressing, as in...
To start with, it was really sad because you're like,
so upsetting.
They're not eating. Yeah. They have no food. These poor kids are gonna starve.
Oh, I was more like, he doesn't believe. He needs to imagine. Come on, you can do it. Yeah.
Did the imagination create it and therefore make them actually like? Well, I guess they're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they don't look emancipated.
They're not dead.
Yeah.
So
they're not dead yet.
And some of them are like 500 years old.
So yeah. Toodles made me smile.
I lost my marbles. Yes, you did.
I'm glad it was Toodles. Toodles was always my favorite in any other like original movie or movie around the original one. He always ended up being my favorite Lost Boy. So I was like, yay!
Oh yeah.
Got to see.
Aww. Oh, okay, thanks. So then, final thoughts and star rating, Eric.
Oh, this is a tough one. I've seen this since I was really young. I'm going to give it a 4, but it's probably tinged with nostalgia. Mm-hmm. But it held up way better than some of the movies we've watched from the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God, I'm feeling old.
Lindsay?
If you'd asked me the first time I watched it when I was little, I would have said 1 because I was so distraught by it. But now I definitely have a new appreciation for it. It's still not my favorite Peter Pan universe type movie. But so I give it about 3.5.
Yeah. Okay, so I was bouncing between 3.5 and 4. I think I'm going to go with 4.
Not 3.75.
3.75. But with the caveat that it's probably a lot of nostalgia talking. Although, like, the writing holds up, the acting is brilliant. It's beautiful to look at. The sets and the costumes are very theatrical and just an absolute delight. And it's so uncynical, which I think bumps it up. Because I'm so used to watching movies that are so very cynical in this day and age, and it's nice to see something that is actually not. So, yeah. Watch it, is what I'm saying.
Let people get excited. Hey, this is The Gamers 3, The Hand of Fate.
Hand of Fate. Ooh.
From 2013.
From 2013. So this is the last one that they've done.
The last movie. There's a TV show after called Gamers 4, which integrates the first short, the second short together, the second movie together.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
This is the same characters as the second movie.
As the second movie? Okay, brilliant. I have a soft spot for the Gamers because all of their movies I've watched have been absolutely freaking hilarious. So yeah, the next film that we will be discussing is The Gamers 3, The Hand of Fate. If you have any thoughts about Hook, do leave them in the comments down below. Also leave us suggestions for other movies that you want us to watch and discuss. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks very much, guys. Bye!
Bangarang.
Bangarang. That was cute.
It is if you have good software.
I don't have good software. I have to do it all manually.